Hey, what is up guys? It's Brendan here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Square Invoices, which is a free invoicing software brought to you by Square. So this is a great way that you can send and create invoices for free in your small business in order to accept payments and again, save you time and get paid faster in your business. Now, of course, before we dive into things, I do want to mention if you are interested in checking out Square Invoicing or Square Invoices, you can go and check out that first link down below in the description. That's brendanvleski.com/Square. It will take you right over to Square where you can go ahead and get signed up if you would like to follow along and check out Square and Square Invoices as well. So, of course, some of the links in the description are affiliate links, which is a great way to help out and support the channel. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into things. Now, of course, in this tutorial, I'm also going to be showing you, again, how to create and send invoices, as well as a general overview of the Square Invoicing app and how it works within the Square dashboard. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that Square is a broad company. They do offer a wide variety of different small business services, including Square Invoices, which is one of those pieces within the business, and it is a piece within Square that is available to you for free without a monthly subscription, which is really nice. They do have some fees, again, in terms of how much it costs to send and process those payments on your Square Invoices, which we'll be getting into in just a moment here. I will also be showing you, again, the Square dashboard and what it actually looks like to go in and set up your invoices. But just taking a quick look here at the Square Invoices page, again, you can send out invoices quickly, get paid, create invoices as well. And manage your overall business when it comes to what you've gotten paid on throughout your invoicing as well. So again, that is what Square Invoices looks like. Now, in terms of the free version, just to mention in terms of how much the processing rates are, it is currently 3.3% plus 30 cents for online card payments. So that is something to keep in mind. Now, of course, these processing rates are always subject to change. Again, these are accurate as the time of making today's video. So be sure to check out the pricing pages to get the most realistic and up-to-date pricing when it comes to especially the processing rates, just because those may change. Or if you want to save some money there, you might want to go with like the paid version or something like that. But again, this is a free invoicing software, so you can start sending invoices for free. Again, that's unlimited invoicing estimates, contracts, unlimited customers, unlimited users, and you can access it from anywhere. So without further ado, let's go ahead and actually dive into the dashboard. So this is what the Square dashboard will look like once you've actually gotten signed up with Square. Again, you can go ahead and check out that first link down below in the description if you are interested in getting signed up with Square. So as you can see here, this is what the dashboard will look like. Now, through the sign up process, it will ask you, hey, do you want invoicing? Do you want a website? All these other things. Again, because Square is a company that offers a variety of different services. Invoicing is just one of those small business services. It is free. Again, I just want to mention and stress that, of course, Square is more for overall small business as well, not purely just for invoicing. You can do a lot more within Square as well. Again, the focus of this video here today is really primarily invoicing, but there is a whole host of other products. Again, I have other videos on the channel as well covering some of the other parts of Square and things you can do within the Square platform as well. Again, a lot of which are free or free for business owners to get started with, which is one of the main perks of Square, why I like promoting them and recommending them here on the channel as well. So as you can see here, when you click on invoices, as you can see here, this is what the invoicing section will look like. So this is where you can go ahead and take payment, send those professional estimates, and as you can see here, save less time, spend less time on paperwork as well. So as you can see here, over 77% of Square invoices get paid within a day. So we're going to go ahead and create a invoice. Now, we're actually going to go ahead and customize it first. So we're going to go ahead and customize the invoice so you can easily, edit this to make it look more related to your business. So as you can see, this is sort of what the default receipt would look like. As you can see under Joe Schmo, $7.61. So that's just a basic receipt. We'll get into actually creating live invoices. I just figured I would show you the branding aspect as well. Again, because when you go in and upload your logo, select your brand colors, this will appear on your business receipts as well as the other customer-facing touch points like invoices, as you can see. So we're going to go ahead and click Add Branding. So this is where you can go ahead and select how you would like your overall branding to look within your business. The default is pretty basic, so you can go in and change the color here. So we're going to go with like a red. You can go with a framed format, a full format as well. If you want to add different files like logos and things like that, this is where you would go in and add a logo. Now, I don't actually have a logo to add for this tutorial, so we're just going to keep it basic, but that's where you would go in and do that if you wanted to add it. You can then also add certain locations as well if you do have branding for certain locations there as well. And then once you have gone in again and customized your invoice, you're going to go back to the invoicing page here under the overview, and we're just going to go ahead and create an invoice. So we're going to go ahead and click create an invoice, and then it will load and generate the invoice here. So as you can see here, you're going to want to make sure that you actually add in customer information. Obviously, add yourself as a customer to send a test invoice. So we're going to just go ahead and, you could do that. You can add in customers here. You can create customers. So this is where you would go in and add in all of their customer data, such as their first name, last name, email address, their billing address, and all of that, as well as their company name. So again, we're just going to leave that blank just as a test invoice, but that's where you would go ahead and add the customer information. Now for the invoice title, this is where you would go in and add in that customer invoice title. So we're just going to go ahead and put in like test as the invoice. So test invoice. You can even write a message with AI. So we're actually going to go ahead and try that here. Lawn service. Let's just say it's like a lawn service. We're going to generate that here. And then boom, lawn service has been completed. Please remit payment in your earliest convenience. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and use that. So there's your message. So that's kind of cool. They do also have AI built in here as well. And so as you can see here, you also have your service date. So we're going to select today as the service date here. Frequency, you can set this as one-time or recurring, so you can also set up recurring invoices as well within Square, which is also nice, especially for like lawn service companies who maybe want to set up that monthly recurring revenue on a month-to-month basis or something like that. So you can select recurring, you can repeat it once a month, you could even change this to 2 times a month if it's like bi-weekly or something like that, depending on how you want to go about collecting payment. You can also end a series as well. So this is where you can end something after a certain date, or you can just select never, and you can go in and manually end things if you need to do that. Or you can select it to be after a certain amount of time. So maybe you set up sort of like a payment plan. That is something you can do in here if you use end series after, and maybe you break it out into like 3 payments. And you split it up once a month, and then that would sort of be almost like a business financing type of thing that you can set up within your invoicing, which is nice that they do have that flexibility here within Square Invoicing. Not every kind of invoicing and payment company maybe has that option there within terms of adding things after a certain period of time, recurring over X amount of months. So it is nice you can set up payment plans in here too. If you want to end series, never, or even on a certain date, if you want it to end after 30 days, you're going to collect payment however many times. That's where you can set up, really get into the nitty-gritty details as far as how often you want things to repeat, and how you want it to be due as well. Each invoice is due maybe in 30 days, or you want it to be due upon receipt. You can select that there. You can even go way in the future too. So you can still do like net 30, net 60, or net 90, things like that if you want to. You just have to go further out on the dates as far as when you want an invoice due. I personally like due on receipt. Of course, that's my personal favorite because it's like, hey, please pay the bill now. But depending on your payment terms, you can customize that quite a bit there as well. In terms of the service date, like we said before, or you can just make it an easy one-time payment. Again, there is just a lot of customization here within the recurring schedule within Square, which is definitely something that puts Square above a lot of the competitors in terms of how detailed you can get into the recurring invoicing. Going into the actual line items, this is where you would go ahead and add the items. So let's just say cut. It's a lawn cut or something. You can create items, as you can see here. Now that we typed in cut, it will automatically appear as a line item. So you can reuse the same line items. Maybe if you type out, more detailed information you can reuse the same line items again and again on different invoices. We're going to say this is like weeds or something like that. So maybe it's a separate item. So the regular cut rate was maybe, I don't know, if this is on a monthly basis, let's just say like $100 or something. And then weeds, it was like, oh, there's a lot of weeds this time, maybe an extra $30 or something. I don't know. That's just an example here. You can add a discount as well if you'd like to add a specific discount. So you can add a new customer discount or something like that. And you can set it to be like a 10% off new customer discount, or even a certain dollar amount. So you can go percentage based or dollar amount, and we can add that there. So you can add a discount to your invoice. You can add multiple discounts as well if you would like. Maybe you offer a friends and family discount or a referral discount or something like that. And then you can also add a shipping fee or service charge. So this is important if you are, needing to collect sales tax or things like that, or if you just have a general service charge that you do charge within your business. That is something worth considering there. Again, that's maybe more important if you're selling physical products and you're creating invoices off of that, compared to maybe more service-based businesses where it's more like a flat rate fee. So that is something that you can go ahead and play around with in here as well. You have the amount for the shipping fee, percentages, or even sales tax as well. There is also a late fee option too. So when an invoice is overdue, late fees can be removed but not edited. Payment schedules are not, available with late fees. So that's something to keep in mind. That's more important if you're going to be setting something up as like, hey, this is a due upon receipt. And then if they're not, if they don't pay it after that certain amount of time, you can add a late fee if they don't pay it by a certain day. There's also a grace period that you can add as well. So maybe like a 3-day grace period, 3 days, and then the percentage you can do, I don't know, a 5% percentage fee or a flat rate. You can be like, no, there's a $20 late fee or something like that, right? That'd be sort of like a credit card company or something like that. So you can also add late fees as well, in case, you want to add that in your business as well. It does just incentivize people as well to make sure that they pay on time, which makes a lot of sense. So yeah, there's quite a lot of flexibility here within the Square invoicing. Now, in terms of payment options, this is sort of where you get into some more additional details that I do talk a lot about here on the channel in terms of what might be best for you. Now, in terms of the actual payment gateways, it is by default set up through Square. And that will give you a variety of different options when it comes to different payment options based on the Square payment gateways and what's available just by default within Square. So if you want lower processing fees, as you can see here, you do need the Invoices Plus plan if you do want to pay lower fees. But if you're not processing that many payments and you'd rather stick to the free version, then, it would be that 3.3% instead of the 2.9%. You can do the math on if it makes sense for you, depending on how much, money you're going to be processing or plan to be processing through your business, as to which might be better for you. They also do offer ACH bank transfer. Now, this is the way that you can get the lowest fee. Now, again, you do need, as you can see here, try out Invoices Plus to get a $10 fee cap, but you can still do ACH bank transfer within the free version, but it is a 1% fee with a minimum of $1 per transaction. So you can, select which options you want to provide your customer in order to accept payments. Maybe you're like, hey, I don't want them to try and use a credit or debit card. I don't even want to give that option because I don't want them to pay that percent fee, or I don't want to pay that percent fee as a business owner. So you can just uncheck it and be like, okay, well, that option is not going to be on the invoice. So it kind of forces their hand to have to pay with ACH bank transfer. You can also offer it, but it's like, obviously nobody really wants to be paying the high fees. So if they can pay through ACH bank transfer, that would be cheaper for you at the end of the day. And with the Invoices Plus, you can get a $10 fee cap. Again, that is on the paid version. So there isn't a cap on the 1% fee, but still 1% is a bit cheaper than 3.3%. So that is something worth considering there. You do also have Cash App Pay as well. So that's 2.9% plus 30 cents. And people can pay with Cash App. Whether or not you want to have that active, it is cheaper than credit or debit card. So maybe it might be worth checking. But you can go through here and select which one you want. You can also offer Afterpay. Now that is a bit more expensive because it's risk, right? You don't know if your customers, Afterpay doesn't guarantee that everything's going to be paid. So that's the whole point of why it's like higher risk and things like that. You'll still get the money, but that's why you're going to pay that 6% percentage because it's debt essentially. You can, like I showed you before, you can offer your own version of, setting up a payment plan as well. That's an option too that you could do without even having to use Afterpay. But that is an option too if you do want to use that on your business, or hey, like you offer Afterpay. Cool. You can either choose to do that or not. You also have gift cards. So if you offer gift cards, if people, people can pay with their gift card. Tipping is another aspect here within invoicing. So you can select if you want tipping to be added. You can also have customers, save their payment method on file. That's another thing you can do here, as well as communications. You can share via email, text message. You'll get 4 reminders, so it will automatically send out payment reminders to your customers. This is super crucial. 100% to remind people to pay their invoices if they haven't paid yet. It's nice that there are just active automated reminders that do go out. In addition to that, you also have shipping. So if you are going to need a shipping address, you can select whether or not to request that. You can also add a contract. So maybe if you're in the legal side of things, you can add contracts to invoicing as well. Custom fields are custom data. That is in the Plus version. Not going to be focusing on that here in this video. You can also add attachments too. So you can attach images, PDFs, things to an invoice, maybe pictures of the work that was done. If you are going to be doing that, setting up the invoice after the work is done, so that your customer can pay it, that's an option there too, to sort of show like proof. So you do have attachments that you can use as well on your invoicing. Now to preview what this one looks like, we're just going to select the preview tab here. And this is overall, what the invoice is going to look like. So as you can see here, again, this is where your logo would be if you did add your logo. Again, I did select the red color. Again, if you want to change things like that about your business information, you would just go to your account and settings, like I showed you before. So this is, again, we don't have any customer data in here because this is just a test invoice, but this is what it would look like for your client when they are getting their invoice. Again, very clean, very easy to understand. Everything is broken down here. As you can see here, we have the test invoice dash 00001 for today's date, the service date. It was cut. It was a lawn cut and weeds, and a 10% discount for $117 subtotal there. And then at the bottom, it will also include, your contact information and other personal details about your business as well. But that's generally what the client view would look like. Again, for your invoice. Pretty simple, nice and easy layout for people to understand. And when you do have the option for people to pay, it will show here as well. Again, just have not connected, payment gateways in this video here today, but that's what it would look like when your customers are going to pay as well. So that's pretty much the invoice. It is pretty simple and easy to see. That's sort of what the preview is. You can also, save it as a draft and send it out directly from the Square platform. If we're going to then view this drafted invoice, you're going to go ahead and wait for it to load. As you can see here, this is sort of where your invoices would be stored as well. So you can see whether or not invoices have been viewed, which is super nice as well, sort of like red receipts. You can see the total amount that is in there, and how much money is sitting in there, or what has been paid in the last 30 days as well within Square. So we're going to go ahead and click here, and as you can see, you can also edit or duplicate it. As well as you can see here, lawn service, that was the text we generated, and that's what the draft invoice looks like along with the invoice total. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Square Invoices as far as creating an invoice. You do also have, again, the recurring series that you can go ahead and set up. Again, invoices are free to send. You're just paying that percent fee. You can also create estimates as well, very similarly to an invoice. Not spending too much time on here, but it's essentially the same process. You can just estimate things. and set it up as like, hey, this is what it would look like to work with your business and things like that. Like, oh, we would like to work, we look forward to working with you. You can send out estimates as well through Square Invoice. We're going to go ahead and discard that, but I figured I would just show you that you do also have that option there. You also have reporting, so you can see, again, we don't have any outstanding invoices currently, but this is where you would then see your overall reports. So you have different projects too that you can also set up and have like multiple invoices as well, so you can track, if you have a tile removal invoice or a hardware floor invoice, you do also have that option in here as well. Again, you can attach like the client agreement. People will then pay your invoices. And generally, that's what it looks like. Again, that is only on the Plus version, so that is something worth keeping in mind as well. Figured I would focus primarily on the free things within this video here today. They do have quite a bit of extra bonuses within the paid version. But again, this is pretty much just what a basic invoice would look like. You go ahead, send that out, and go ahead and start getting paid within your business today. So guys, yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video here today of Square Invoices. Again, if you do want to check out Square Invoices, you can go and check out that first link down below in the description. That's brennanvalesky.com/Square. It will take you over to Square where you can go ahead and get signed up with them and get started today with Square Invoices. So again, guys, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, then be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Anyway, guys, that was all for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.